and I turned off the waiting room. So if anything happens, you need to come back into the meeting, you'll be able to come just right in.
Hi, everyone. We are doing this really super cool Zoom and Facebook Live. I want to give all the credit to the people behind the scenes, Tia and Julie from my team, who did all of the technology, and then Emily, my daughter, who's been on Zoom all day. So I brought her in as my Zoom expert. And
Can't wait to zoom out of here.
Yeah, she's ready. She's not going to hang with us tonight because she's been on Zoom all day today. So I told her she's exonerated from tonight. So thank you for getting us started and for being here.
Okay, keep your text open in case the chat thing doesn't work.
Okay.
You
So the way this is going to work is thank you, Emily. We've admitted so far 35 people, and I expect there to be upwards of 70 in the room tonight. So you can, you've all submitted questions. Many of you have submitted questions in advance, and so you can ask them. We should also know that this is being broadcast simultaneously, because we're so cool, on my Facebook Live, on my page, and on my website. So this is like level of technology, and I had nothing to do with it. So please know that I literally, when it comes to having one talent, this is not it, okay? So I have no idea how this is gonna go. I have been showing lately, though, that I have other talents. If any single person in this room received a print copy of All My Loving this week, that came directly from me. The books came late. I am the only one that's authorized to work on Saturdays. So I shipped like 125 books on Saturday to y'all myself, but Lisa did all the setup. So I got to give her credit. Lisa did all the postage and all the labels and she did all the hard work. I just had to sign and stuff, but I did it. So if you received a book from me in the mail this week, it is literally from me. So that counts, Julie, I think, as an extra talent. I'm just saying. I sent pictures and video to prove that I was actually pulling this off. So, okay, we have a bunch of questions that you guys have submitted in advance. And why is the door creaking? I've got dogs in here with me. I've got Sam Sullivan, and I've got Brandy Force, where is she? Brandy, there she is. You see her through the chair? She's right there. She's kind of hiding. And we've got lots of people in the room now. We're up to 38, and we've got people watching on Facebook who are submitting questions. And so Tia and Julie are going to be feeding me questions on the chat. When you, if the question was your question and you want to ask me about it in the room, all you have to do is unmute yourself. When it's, and don't all do that at once, and and then pop in and ask your question. So if you want to ask me a question, you can hit the chat in our group. Can you see that? Can you guys see that there's a chat on the side? And Julie is also going to help unmute people. So one of the first things we want to make sure we talk about tonight is the reason for our get together, and that's this beauty. And I'll just add, this color is really the theme of my month, because that's like kind of the accent color on the boat that's going in the water tomorrow after a huge renovation. So I just got the word on that. That's where I'll be tomorrow at lunch, Julie, going and watch the boat splash. So I got to ask permission from the boss. So this is what we're here to talk about tonight. I've asked that there be no spoilers. Anybody who has read the book already, and some of you people, I cannot believe how fast you can read 96,000 words. And that's what this beast is, 96,000 words. So you guys read way too fast. I would like to register a formal complaint about that. By noon today, I was hearing from people who I know are on East Coast time who had already read it. Now, I understand if you're in Alaska or you're in Australia and you've already read it, but you East Coasters, to be already have read it by noon, okay? And now I'm slavishly writing another book for you, and I need you guys to not read so fast, okay? So, all right. So this book is out today, Landon and Amanda. There was a lot of controversy around this couple because we all know how they got their start. when she, in a moment of just sheer madness, when two super smoking hot firefighters asked her out at the same time, she made the enormous mistake of saying yes to both of them at the same time. She has been dealing with that. She's been dealing with that snafu ever since. And so we are now to the point where she is, you know, dating one of them and the other one is not in the picture anymore. So that's where we're at. So I just wanted to make sure that we talk about Landon and Amanda and anything that you want to talk about as far as the Abbotts are concerned or what's coming up with the series. I just would rather we not spill any secrets about this book because I know that some of you won't get to it until the weekend. And I do appreciate everyone who pre-ordered, and it had a very good day today. It's super exciting to see that for a series that's been going since 2014 when this bad boy was released. It's hard to believe it's already been 6 years. 6 years, and this is what it looks like now. Let's see if I can do this without a catastrophe. Okay, here we go. Ready? Ooh, there they are. That's what we got so far. So, and more coming, as you know. Let It Be will be out on Christmas Eve. And then I will definitely be writing Max Abbott's book, hopefully in 2021. And after that, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. So people who read All My Loving have seen some hints to some other possible things that could happen with future characters. So we'll see what happens. I do want to tell you that I am working very hard right now on Fatal Flaw, and I am hoping to have it out sooner than January. I'm not committing to a date yet, but it's going very well, and it should be done in plenty of time to get it out in the calendar year of 2020, but I don't yet have a date, so don't hold me to that. I'm hoping there's no snafus, but so far so good, and I'll keep you posted on that. So those are the two big things I wanted to start with, was All My Loving, working on Fatal Fraud, and I also want you guys to know that I am giving away copies of All My Loving tonight. I don't know how many, it depends on what mood I'm in when the moment comes to pick winners. But I also have for one participant tonight, a full set of the Green Mountain and Butler books. And all you have to do to enter the giveaway is to have been in the Zoom room and asked a question or just participated in the Zoom. We'll enter you into the drawing just for being in the Zoom room. And also, if you're not in the Zoom room and you want to enter the giveaway, please go to the Facebook page at facebook.com/MarieForceAuthor. Go to this live broadcast that you should be able to see right now and leave a comment or a question there, and we will be glad to put you into the drawing. So let's get to some of these questions that Julie has ready for us. I'm seeing messages popping up on the side here. And I also want to thank all the beautiful faces that I can see in the Zoom room. I love to see you guys. I'm really, really sorry to have to say this week that Reader Weekend 2020 is off. I'm a little heartbroken over that. We all are. And I just want you guys to know that we did everything we could to try to make that work. And when it just looked like it wasn't going to happen, we had to call it. So as we say in the Boston area, I do not want to be a super spreader of the virus by having everybody come to me from around the country and then go back out. And then when the contact tracing starts, it all comes back. Right? So I did not want to play that role. So that, and also I didn't want you guys to potentially be exposed to it while traveling and whatnot either. So I think it's just safer for all of us in all aspects of our life right now to kind of take a step back, stay home, chill out. Hopefully we'll be through the worst of this by the time next year rolls around. And we did announce that next year is going to be in Alexandria, Virginia hotel location, which is right across the river from where Sam and Nick live in Washington, D.C. You guys will love, if you haven't been to DC, I can't say strongly enough how much you will love going there. I want you to tack on a couple of days extra besides our event. There is so much to do. And the beautiful thing about tourism and touring in DC is everything is free. You walk into the National Zoo and you keep waiting for them to stop you to pay, only they don't stop you to pay. It's just like every single thing is free. So that's what is so awesome about the DC experience. It's also like the Smithsonian museums are all free. You can tour the Capitol. If you get there in advance, you can tour the White House. There's so much to do and see. And Julie and I are working on a couple things that we want to do with you guys while we're there. So Julie is from Alexandria, Virginia. That's her hometown. She lives like a mile from the hotel where we're going to be staying. So she doesn't know yet, but I'm going to have a huge party at her condo. She's like, no, you're not. Also, I worked with Julie for a company in Alexandria, Virginia. So that's where we met. My former day job was headquartered in Alexandria, Virginia, which makes it very near and dear to me. I worked for that company for 16 years. So I'm super psyched to bring you guys to DC. I know it wasn't a big surprise where we would take Reader Weekend on the road, but we did manage to keep it pretty much a secret until yesterday. So I hope that you guys are psyched for 21 in DC. We'll be back in Rhode Island for 22. So if you didn't get to come this year and you're disappointed about that, I totally understand, but we will bring you back to Rhode Island in 22. So let's get to some questions. We lost Julie for a minute, but I think she's back. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. People are saying they're excited. Gwen wants to have a party on 9th Street. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun in DC. I think you guys are gonna absolutely love it. I think that Julie's probably gonna quit me if I bring you all to her house though. So Julie Dickerson, can you unmute you? Are you unmuted?
I'm unmuted.
Okay, hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, where are you located tonight?
I'm in Long Island, New York.
Long Island! And what is your question?
So I wanted to know, when you were coming up with the differences between the twins, did you do actual research? Did you talk to twins and their parents? Or was it just reading and that kind of research?
So I grew up with multiple sets of identical twins, and I've always had them in my life. Known people who are so in our town. There was a family that I think their kids were a couple years younger than us, but they had a set of identical twin boys and a set of identical twin girls, which is so like, if you know about twins, so like fraternal twins. They run in families.
Right, I have fraternal twins.
Right, so identical twins are just a complete fluke of biological, like complete miracle, right?
Right.
So it's really rare. And so for one family to have two sets of identical twins is hugely unusual. Right. But here's a funny story. So my cousin John has fraternal twins, a boy-girl twin, John and Julia, and they get asked frequently if they're identical. Like,
yes.
Like it's so funny, you know? No.
I was asked that by a nurse about my boy-girl twins once.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I will say one little tidbit about All My Loving that I really loved was when so Lucas and Savannah obviously play a big role in Landon's book because Lucas is Landon's identical twin and they're very close. They're best friends. They see each other every day. Lucas is recovering from his injuries, so Landon is helping him out with everything that he can. But what I thought, like, it was kind of like a last minute little inspiration I had as I was finishing that book was for Savannah, the 7-month-old, to react strangely to Landon because he looks so much like Lucas, you know, and so it kind of freaks the baby out. So that was kind of something that I just had somewhat later in the book. But I liked the fact that, like, Savannah got to know Landon over that book a little bit better. And like once she started to really put together how much he looks like Lucas, that it started to freak her out a little bit. So I thought that was kind of fun to write. But I do love, I realize I have way too many twins in all my books. I had this weird convergence with Rescue After Dark and All My Loving, where I not only had 2 firefighters, but I also had sets of identical twins in both books too. I'm like, in what world does that come together all at the same moment? You know, like, I'm like obsessed with firemen and twins, apparently. You know? So,
well, that's a good thing to be obsessed with.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's paying the bills, but I mean, it is kind of silly, like that I ended up at that exact juncture of both series that I was writing about Jordan, who's an identical twin, and Landon, who's an identical twin, at the same time, pretty much. And they both were, there was firefighters involved. Too.
Right.
So anyway, well, thank you for the question. I really appreciate that. Julie also wants you to know that she lives in a 700 square foot condominium and that the party is going to be a little tight in DC. So
We can make it work.
we can, we're all friends. Like really, I don't know what her concern is. Okay, so thank you so much. The next question we have is from Kristen Blay. Is Kristen unmuted? Do we have Kristen? Okay, while we wait for Kristen,
I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Okay. Here she is. Okay. And you're in Tallahassee.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
And a twin mom.
You are a twin mom too? Are your twins fraternal?
Yes, I have twin girls that are fraternal. They're the youngest of 5.
Oh, wow. Holy moly. So I knew somebody in Jacksonville, Florida who had 3 boys and decided to go for a girl and got identical twin boys.
Oh, no. Well, I have 3 boys and then had twin girls. So I was really happy they were girls.
So you were probably going for a girl and got more than you bargained for.
Right.
How old are they?
They are 11. The girls are 11. My oldest is 20.
Okay. Wow. 20 to 11. Wow. You're in it for the long haul, girlfriend. So what's your question tonight?
My question was, are we potentially going to get any cousin books for the Butler series? Because I know you said that you needed the series to sell more to...
Yes, it was kind of lagging, but I'll tell you what, these last 2 have done really well. So I'm sort of feeling a little encouraged.
Yes, that's exciting. I'm excited because I really like the cousins. They add a bunch of fun to it.
I do too. And I am one of 21 cousins on one side of my family. And there is a lot of fun that goes along with having a lot of cousins. And there's a lot of tomfoolery that goes along with it as well. For instance, today, my cousin Jean, who is pickle phobic, and when I say pickle phobic, there are no words to describe how much she hates pickles. My cousin Stephen has apparently subscribed her to Pickle of the Month Club. And today she got a massive jar of kosher dills. And she says she's going into the pickle protection program where she cannot be found by any of us.
That's really funny.
I mean, there's something going on like that all the time in our family. Like one time they subscribed my cousin John to all of these magazines, like Cat Fancy and like all, like he doesn't have a cat, you know, and like they call that magazining. And suddenly you're subscribed to all these weird like magazines. So yeah, so cousin tomfoolery is a big part of my life. And so I would love to bring that into the series and do more with the Colemans. In All My Loving, you get some more of Izzy, you get a hint of Noah, you get to see the younger cousins briefly, but so I just am not sure, but I would love to do kind of like a Coleman spinoff within the same series. Like, and I know people are asking for more about Hannah and Ray too, Aunt Hannah. So that would be fun to do a book for them. But we'll just see. I mean, it just depends on how much people are interested in continuing the series. So I would say that the showing that you guys have given All My Loving has been a good indication of your interest. So.
Well, that's great. That's great.
Well, thank you. Thanks for being here from Tallahassee.
And thanks for all, we visited you last October in Newport and you gave us lots of great recommendations and we did every single one and we had a great time.
I'm so
We
glad.
were in Italy, so we couldn't visit you. But
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know. And like, it was so funny because when I was in Italy, like we were in Europe for 3 weeks, which is just absolutely amazing. It was incredible. But by the end of the second week, I was like, could I please go home now? Because I'm such a homebody. And now I'm like, oh, I really would like to go back to Italy, but because I can't, you know. So but yeah, I hope to get back there again before too much longer because I really did love it.
oh, okay.
So okay, so let's see. Oh, Kelly is saying she can't wait to see what I write about Izzy, and you are also a photographer. Well, I love that because you know, she got to shoot the catalog photo shoot this time in All My Loving, which was really fun. So I really struggled with how to show how the photo shoot went for everyone. And so I think you guys who have read the book already might agree that I came up with a pretty good way to show the various people what they've modeled, how it was, the outtakes. So hopefully you guys like the way that that was presented. Okay, Julie, who's next? Let's see here. Okay. Oh, Leanna, Kelly. So Kelly is here, and her daughter Leanna says hello, and she named her Leanna because she loved my book True North, which is cool. I love that. Okay, what are we doing next? Let's see. The next question is from Eileen Gray, but we don't see her on the call. So Eileen Gray, if you are here, can you please unmute yourself and ask the question? But if not, her question was similar to the last one. Are you going to continue with the Butler series after Max? I love this series. So yes, like I said, you know, the Coleman cousins, people want to know more about them. I do have a story I'd love to write for Noah. I gave a little hint of an idea of what might be going down with Izzy at the end of All My Loving. So you guys will be asking me about that before tomorrow is up, I'm sure. So I call that job security by the way. So the fact that you guys are asking for more is always, it's good for job security. So what do we have after Eileen? Let's see, Maria Gagnon. Is Maria here?
Yep.
Hi, Maria, where are you?
I'm from Spokane.
Spokane, okay, all the way out in Washington State.
Yep.
That is a really beautiful town. I follow some people on Instagram that live there, and it's just breathtaking.
I grew up in the deep South, and so it was quite a change to move out here.
Yes, it's kind of like a crunchy granola town, right?
Yes.
I love that though. So Butler is too, you know, so it's that kind of town. Like everybody's like kind of back to nature, and people are out hiking and rock climbing, and you know, it's all very, very cool. So
I'd never seen so much flannel or boots until
yes,
I moved out
and
there.
that's just like Vermont. Yes, it's just like Vermont. Yes, there's a lot of flannel. Yes, it's all good. So what's your question?
I was wondering if you ever saw various aspects of your own personality in the characters that you write.
And just the lunatic ones. So there's a lot of Marie Force and Sam Holland, from the eye rolling to the sarcasm to what I think are witty one-liners that my family say are not so funny. There's a lot of me in her. I will tell you that. There is a lot of me in Sam, from her fresh mouth to her, you know, irreverence. I definitely feel the most at home among all the women that I write with her. And I am writing her right now, and I really love her so much. So much. Nick did something today in the book, and she basically was so blown away by how hot he was doing it that she basically articulated to him how she would like to reward him for this thing that he did. And she left him a little stunned in the middle of the workday. So I just think she's so much fun to write. So I really do see, I mean, I'm not going around offering favors to anybody in the middle of the workday. Don't think that. But Sam, nothing would stop her from doing it. So I do make threats about the rusty steak knife to Mr. Force. Hears a lot about rusty steak knives here. One of my good friends, I won't say who because she's probably listening and she'll kill me for saying this publicly, just in case it could ever be used against her in a court of law. But we joke that if something ever happens to either of our husbands, it's only going to happen because of us, not because of anyone else. So like Dan leaves to go on a bike ride, and I remind him, don't get hit by anyone else's car, because if you're going to get hit by a car, it's going to be mine. So that's our running joke. And so there's a lot of like Sam and me, let's just put it that way. So yes, now you have evidence to use against me in a court of law. So
Well, I'm a lawyer, so that's good.
Oh, good. I might need you.
Yeah.
I might need you. So I'm always texting stuff to people that somebody's like, you're going to get, the FBI is going to show up at your house one of these days. So I'm like, it's research. What are you talking about? But thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, coming all the way from Spokane, where it is now 5 p.m., right?
Yeah.
See, I can do that math in my head.
There you go.
8 minus 3 is 5. So just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm like Sam in that way too. I did not like 8th grade algebra. So, and I still can't do very well with math. All right. Well, thank you for being here and coming in and saying hi. I love this, that we can talk to each other directly. It's so fun. And you know, often like I feel like an echo chamber in the Facebook Live chats because it's me. And I'm like, I would wish that I could hear you guys. So this is so awesome. And I'm so thankful to Tia and Julie for setting this up because they are definitely the brains behind this operation. If anybody had a question about that, it's not me. Eve is up next. Eve Hiller. Are you there?
Hi. Hi,
Hi,
Marie.
Eve. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Good. I'm not seeing you. Are you blocking your
I
video?
am not. My video. Hold on.
Where are you? Come see
I
me.
am here.
Okay. I don't know. Can anybody else see Eve?
There we go. Do you see me now?
Nope. I might have something set wrong though.
Maybe. My video is on.
Okay.
And-
So,
yeah.
what's your question? And where are you from, first of all?
I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay. We have Dan's sister lives in Pittsburgh. Oh, there you are. Hi. How are you?
Hello. Hi.
Yes, Dan has a sister that lives in Pittsburgh, so I know
Oh,
Pittsburgh
great.
well. It's such a beautiful city with the 3 rivers coming together and the hills. It's gorgeous.
It is. I'm about 45 miles away from Pittsburgh. It's easier to say Pittsburgh.
Yes, yep. Dan's sister is right in the city, and so is his
For
niece.
sure.
So.
Right.
So what is your question?
My question is, during this crazy time when everything is so abnormal, how do you keep things normal with your writing? You have such beautiful writing and you gave us these great stories during this crazy time that I know everyone will say kept them sane because they kept me sane. I got to look forward to something normal. So how do you do that?
So it's a really good question because I was really excited to have 2 books almost completely ready to go when the lockdown happened. And so I could move them up, which I was really glad to do because I knew people were like, really like, I've heard from so many people, thank you for giving me something like Gansett Island was like, visiting Gansett was like being away from all this, you know, which, so I really was happy to hear that. But to be honest with you, for me personally, other than obviously the concerns about what's going on externally and what, like, how much longer this is going to go on and how, you know, all the questions that we all have, my life hasn't changed all that much because I've worked at home for 22 years. And so I was sort of astounded by all the juggling that people were doing with jobs and having kids, homeschooling kids. And oh my God, like, just, I felt so keenly for that arrangement because I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about this before, but when I first worked from home in 1998, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, working for a company in Alexandria, which we were just talking about. And I was one of the first people I knew to be an out-of-state remote telecommuter. And it was very complicated. And the one thing that everybody has now that we did not have then that I would have killed for was a mute button, which means I could be on the phone and they couldn't hear what was going on in my house. I did not have that. So that is the one thing, like, I just want to say to everybody doing it now, like, holy crap, the technology has come so far. You know, I used to be like this in meetings, like, I'm like, oh my God, they can hear my kids. And I'll tell you, like, after the first year, I got a little less apologetic about that because they kept me on because they liked the job I was doing. I was doing the best that I could for them, but my kids live there, you know? So I kind of had to chill a little bit, you know? But during this pandemic with the writing and everything, I really kind of stuck to my usual routine, which is I write in the morning. I write as much as I can in the morning because I find that my productivity with the writing goes downhill as the day goes on because I get sucked into other stuff. But I just tried to really stick with a good schedule. And so during the pandemic, I wrote All My Loving, which is 96,000 words. I wrote How Much I Care, which is 85,000 words. And as of today, about 30,000 words into Fatal Fraud. So pandemic living has not hurt my productivity.
Well, we are glad of that.
Yeah, well, if anything, the biggest problem I had was that my massage studio that I rely on to keep me so that I don't freeze up is still shut down, which I miss them so much. So I had to start going to a chiropractor, which, I mean, desperate times, right? Because all that typing and sitting and, you know, I get like this, you know, like the Tin Man before the oil can, you know, just really locked up. So, yeah, so that was, I had both my kids home, which I loved. My kids are 25, almost 25, and my son will be 22 in October. And so having them both home again has been wonderful. They would not necessarily say so, but I do, and their father does. We like having them here. Other than my obvious concerns for the larger situation going on around me, which is very significant, and worried about everyone and everything and all the various people that we know and how it's affecting them. And so many readers have written to me about how it's affecting them and their families. And so obviously that's very like concerning and stressful. So I just tried to like do this and put my head down and stay focused on the one thing I can do for people who are stressed is to hopefully provide you with a little escape. So
Good. Thank you.
it's nice to put a face with your name. I've seen you, quote unquote, around campus
Yes.
for a while.
Great. It's
So I
great
hope
to
we
see
can
you.
see you in DC.
I am hoping to do that.
I
Yes.
would love that. That would be great.
Not too
So,
far away. So
not
that'd be
too
great.
far. Yes, it was already less than a year. So
Great.
yes,
Thanks.
I hope to see you then. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here. Who do we have next, Miss Julie? Let's see, Melody Futch. Are you here?
I am.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I know you.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Yes, we've met many times, I think.
I wanted to find out what projects you are working on for 2021 that you have not already shared with us, if you can share with us.
Sure. So I am going to be working on the third book in the new Miami series, which is going to be called How Much I Love, you will get a hint of that at the end of How Much I Care. So I'm just telling Dan to come get one of the dogs out of here. Sorry, I'm texting while Zooming. She's panting her way through. She's filling my room with dog breath. So I'm going to be working on the third book in the Miami series. I am going to write the book that you guys had gotten a hint of for Fatal Vengeance. I'm setting that up in Fatal Fraud. So you will see the start of what happens in Fatal Vengeance in Fatal Fraud. So I'm looking forward to that, and that'll be in 21. We've got Blackout After Dark coming from Gansett, which I hope will, in addition to a great catch up with all the existing characters, I'm hoping that that's going to launch some new storylines too. So I've got a lot in store for you in Blackout After Dark, including some new characters and some new situations. So I'm very excited about that, giving, like, say, the next 5 or 6 books a little kickoff. So we've got that, and then we've got Max Abbott's book coming. So I'm also very, very interested in writing more in the world in which 5 Years Gone and 1 Year Home were set. And that is the aftermath of the cruise ship tragedy, and writing some more stories from that aftermath. In particular, while I was on vacation in March, I roughed up like the prequel and like the first chapter of a book for Miles, who was Ava's boss in 5 Years Gone, and he lost his fiance and her parents on the ship. And I've always been intrigued by him, by his journey, by what he went through, and also his new romance with Skylar. So, and giving us more of that. So I would really like to do that at some point. I'm not 100% sure that I have enough for a full book there, so I've got to figure that out. But and then I would like to kind of like hand off his story and have him set up for something else in that world, and start to write a little bit more, because I really feel like that's a really a big story that I've only scratched the surface of. when something like that happens, not only are the thousands of people who were killed impacted, but there's thousands of people related to them who were impacted. So I feel like that's something that could really give us a lot of good meat on the bones. Another thing that I really want to do, and I really want to do it in a very significant way, is to delve into Sam's grief group a little bit. And the group that she's going to be putting together for people who are survivors of people who are lost to violent crime or who have survived it themselves. And I have a very, very substantial story already in my brain mapped out for that, which would be kind of like a small-ish spin-off from the Fatal series. So obviously, in order to do all this, I need 72-hour days. I need everybody else to leave me alone. I need no other demands on my time whatsoever. I need no sleep, no social life, no nothing. And I could probably write all of that in 21. So, but I will write some of that in 21. Cool. And then some of it into 22. So yeah. So I've got an agenda set.
Wonderful. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Did we say where you're from, Melody?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm from Winter Haven, Florida. I
knew Florida.
Yes. So it's like right outside of Orlando. So I'm between Tampa and Orlando.
So it's hot there.
It's hot here. Yes. And I'm originally from Miami, so I'm looking forward to reading your books set in Miami.
Very exciting. See, I always prefer to write about places that are fictional because I don't have to worry so much about getting it right. But hopefully, hopefully I did okay, because I spent a lot of time, especially with the first book, because there's the heroine is half Cuban, half Italian. And I wanted to be able to bring in some of her Cuban heritage and do it in a proper way. And I had such a great time interviewing. I actually met a woman named Carmen, which is my heroine's name, at a luncheon that I had in Miami. And it turns out that she came to the United States from Cuba on an airplane with her 8-year-old brother. She was 8 and her brother was younger than her. And they were met by a relative that they had never met. And so she like was the epitome of the experience that people had coming to the US from Cuba at that time. And she read the book for me and gave it her seal of approval, which was so huge to me. So thank you to Carmen in Miami for that. It meant so much to me to have her perspective and to make sure that we got it right. So I'm hoping that everybody in Miami enjoys it. And I had Mona and a few other people who I know who live in Miami read it, and Laura Ortiz, who helped me all the way through with Little Havana and all sorts of other details. The second book is less involved with the locale than the first, but that's okay. It's just the way the story unfolded in the first book was reliant more on the location than in the second book. But very excited to do Miami and to hopefully do it right. So I'm glad to know that you're from there, so I can tap in and say, hey, what's the deal with this? So,
definitely.
It is easier to write about places I make up and can do anything I want with, that's for sure. So
that's all right. No one will be judging.
Oh, well, yes, they will, but you won't be. But
I won't. I will not be at all. I'm excited
people
to
love
read it.
to tell me when I get something wrong. So
yeah, no.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Nice to see you. Next question is from Nancy McGee. Nancy, are you here? Nancy and her husband Lenny are longtime Reader Weekend faithful followers and attendees. And so, hey.
Hello.
How are you? I'm not seeing your gorgeous face.
I'm here.
Hello.
I actually live about 15 minutes down the road from Melody.
You guys know each other? You've met at various things, right?
We've talked.
Yeah, okay.
But we have never met.
So Florida is very well represented here tonight.
Yes.
So what's your question tonight?
I actually do have a question about your new series.
Okay.
I wanted you to tell us at least one favorite thing about each of the new characters.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Okay, so Carmen, who's the heroine of How Much I Feel, is 29-ish, and she is the widow of a police officer, and he was killed 5 years earlier in a convenience store robbery gone wrong. And she's been kind of trying to put her life back together ever since. She has just started a job at Miami-Dade General Hospital, which is a made-up fictional hospital that I made up. And her very first day, her very first thing that she's asked to do is to meet the new pediatric neurosurgeon who is reporting for duty that same day, Jason Northup, who shows up in a black Porsche convertible with a bottle blonde riding shotgun in a flaming red dress, and he just presents as the ultimate cliche. And in the course of that first day, Carmen finds out that there is a lot more to Jason than appeared on that first impression. And fortunately, her first impression of him is not necessarily accurate. So their story is super fun to write. Now, in the midst of all this, Carmen is the only child of Vincent and Vivian Giardino, who own a half Cuban, half Italian restaurant in Little Havana that is a well-known destination for people from all over come to have the amazing food at Giardino's. And because Carmen's mom had 9 miscarriages before she had her family, her parents are extremely involved in her life, much to her dismay when she starts actually dating again. And the restaurant is really kind of the center of the series. So her abuela, her Cuban grandmother, oversees the Cuban side of the house, and her nana, her Italian grandmother, oversees the Italian side of the house. And on the surface, it would appear that the two grandmothers do not get along at all, when in fact they are really the best of friends. And but they fight like cats and dogs. They bicker nonstop, but they're super awesome people. And so you're going to get to meet all of them in August. And I was writing How Much I Feel, which I actually started more than 10 years ago. The first 3 or so chapters I wrote, I don't even know, I just wrote them, and I always in the back of my mind wanted to revisit that story. And so when I did, I didn't know anything about the grandmothers or Giardinos or any of the other details that I just shared with you. That all came to me in the process of writing How Much I Feel. And when I finished that, I realized I had a very nice setup for a series. The second book features Carmen's first cousin, Maria, who is the same age as her, and she has a sister named Dee, and she has brothers Nico and Milo, and she is all Italian. She's her father is Vincent Giordano's brother Lorenzo, and she's all Italian. But Abuela, who is Carmen's Cuban grandmother, is like a third grandmother to Maria. Like their family is all like, you know, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Anytime anything happens with one of the kids, all of the parents and grandmothers, they all swoop in and like they can't get a minute. They're like this, you know. So but then also when things go sideways, they go running to their grandmothers, and like, you know, so they're very cute. It's a very sweet family. They have brunch on Sundays at the restaurant. The restaurant shuts down for Sunday brunch for the family. It's the only time that they really shut down, other than they take Mondays. I'm choking. Sorry. This happens to me in the spring a lot. So that's kind of the highlight of that series. You're going to see a lot of stuff goes on in Miami. Now the second book, okay, they're saying that my room is dark. You guys can't see me.
No, mine's light.
Can you see me now, Tia? I'll take this moment to choke a little more. Let's see, why can't you guys see me? I don't know. I think they can't, you can't see me because when Nancy was speaking, can you see me? You can probably see me now.
I'm gonna see you now.
Yeah, so I leave when somebody else comes in, I think is how this works. So what was I gonna say? So yeah, so that's pretty much the highlights of this series. I really am super, super excited for both books, but How Much I Care, that book, oh my God. I don't think I have ever had more fun in my life writing a book than I had writing that one, because I had this super awesome setup where Carmen's cousin Maria, this will be after there's a jump forward in the end of how much I feel that passes a bunch of time. So in that passage of time, Maria donated bone marrow to a 2-year-old in Baltimore who had leukemia, and basically saved the child's life. And at the 6-month mark, she's able to communicate with the child's very thankful single father. And they have an immediate connection. Even when they are talking, they have to be anonymous at first. They can't really talk with their real names or anything until the first year. And then they have to be super like careful not to, you know, say more than they should or anything. And so they have this immediate spark though. And like, they don't even know each other's real first names. And so she spends 6 months feeling like she's basically in love with this man she has never met. And so, yeah, that book, oh my God. And the little girl and and he's, P.S., he's a Major League Baseball pitcher.
Oh.
I had a lot of fun with that one. So those 2 books, I think you guys are going to love them. I'm super excited. And I can't wait for you guys to get a chance to read them. So
I can't wait.
yeah, super psyched. Nice to see you. Say hi to Lenny.
I will when he gets home.
Sorry that we won't get to see you at Reader Weekend this year.
I am too, but
But I
next
hope
year.
you'll come to DC. Yes, it's half as far. So
I know.
I'm getting closer to you.
You are. Great
Super
talking to you, Bree.
Good to see you too, Nancy. Take care.
I will.
What do we have next, Miss Julie? Okay, Karen Osarenko. Are you there? Karen? Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. How you doing? I think you might be muted. There you are. Hello?
Is it unmuted
Yep,
now?
yep, you're good. Tell me where you are right now.
Boston, Mass.
Boston, Mass. You're right up the road from me. Is it super foggy there tonight?
Yes, and super humid.
Oh, it's super gross here. I can't even see anything like outside of my window. It's just all fog. So,
Yeah, well, I'm right by the airport, so it's very quiet. There's not a lot of flights taking off because of the fog.
because of the fog, yes. It is the season around here. The water is still so cold and the air is just starting to get warm. And so the convergence equals fog in June. So
Correct.
it rolls up the river by my house. Every afternoon I see it coming up. So, so what is your question, Karen?
I wanted to know, where did your inspiration come for all the male characters that we all wish we could find? I have an amazing husband, but like, he just doesn't equal at times.
Well, neither does mine. Okay, don't anybody tell him I said that. Okay, wait, that's not true. Last night he did something really awesome. So I'll just tell you that really quick. So my birthday on June 10th got scuttled because one of my close friends was exposed to COVID. This was after we were allowed to go back to having small gatherings in our state. And we've been sticking to like outdoor, cookouts on the deck and stuff. So my good friend, one of my very best friends, was exposed. And she called me. She's so upset on my birthday and tells me, okay, I was exposed, which means I was too, because I had been with her since she was exposed. So we had to kind of like scuttle the plan for that night, which was totally fine. Like, as I said to her, I'm not turning 5, I'm turning 50 something, I can handle. So we had a very nice evening with my family of 4, and it was, so last night, all the people who were supposed to be here that night were coming over for a totally different, we were supposed to be celebrating Father's Day, and Dan realized that all the people were going to be in the room. So he got another cake for me, which was very sweet. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and totally surprised me with that. So that was very nice. But now there's yet another cake to be eaten in my house. So I guess I get these men from, I don't know, I do have a lot of good guys in my life, and a lot of, my father was a good guy, and he was a very good guy. And my uncles were good guys, and my husband's a good guy, and my brother's a good guy most of the time when he's not making fun of me. And, so my cousins are all good guys. So, yeah, so I guess I try to, so listen, I know there's a whole lot of romance readers who love to read about what they call the alpha holes, the real alpha jerks. I just don't find that sexy personally. I find that to be like, I could not be married to that. I could not, so it doesn't appeal to me. So that's why I don't write them. I'd rather write Nick or Mac or Big Mac than write an a-hole who's supposedly sexy. So that doesn't do it for me. So that I write what they call beta heroes, like not the alpha dudes, who have to suck up all the oxygen in the room. I write the beta guys, and they seem to be resonating with you all, so I'll stick with that.
The bar set too high.
Yeah. I'm not really, I don't enjoy reading men who treat women badly, even if it's even if it's fiction. I just find that to be, I don't know, I'd rather be with a nice, sweet guy, than a jerk. So.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think most of us would, right? I mean, that's not to say I have nothing against or the people who write it or read it or enjoy it. And obviously I'm all for to each his own, and whatever makes, whatever you enjoy, I'm all for it, whether it's as an author or a writer, but it's not my thing. So.
Right. For the record, my husband's a really sweet guy too. It's just not at the same level.
Yeah, well, sometimes too, like the sweet guys can be boring, right? So. I mean, like that we all know, like, sometimes but I've seen women in my life too who have gravitated towards the bad boys and been left disappointed, and then they always come back around to the nice guys, so I think I'm realizing why you guys can't see me too, because I literally I don't have the light on in here. Tia's going to kill me. So I'm going to go turn the light on while Julie cues up the next question. But thank you, Karen, for that. I appreciate it. That's a very good question and not one that I'm often asked. So thank you. Tia sending me this emoji. Okay, wait. And then she said, let there be light. And this is when I'm really glad that I didn't keep my pajama pants on for this. Is that better? Julie is texting me and saying, one talent. I figured out why you can't see me. Okay, Linda Hamilton.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, nice to see you. Where are you located?
Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Allentown. So we've got 2 people from Pennsylvania in the room at least. So
we're on the east coast of Pennsylvania, about an hour from Philly.
Okay, gotcha. I had some friends that lived in Bucks County.
Yep.
So
very close.
Okay. In Yardley.
Know the area.
Okay. So what's your question tonight?
I don't remember.
So I have how many more books do you
few
anticipate?
questions, and I can't remember which one I asked.
Okay, ask either of them. Go for it.
I didn't ask either of them. I wondered if you have any end date for any of your series right now. Are you thinking of ending them, or do you have a continuum?
I have no plans to end any of the 4 that I'm currently writing.
That's great. That's great.
So, I mean, the one that's on the bubble, has been on the bubble for a while, is this Vermont series. But obviously, like, you want to write the ones that the readers are most interested in. But I have gotten more than enough interest in the Butler series continuing to keep me focused on that for a while longer. So, yeah, I'll definitely be giving you more of that.
I really like when you write, as an older woman, I like when you write some of the older stories.
I enjoy that too. I like to say, yes, I like to see some of the older couples, like especially like Hannah Coleman's story really does appeal to me after what she went through and with her husband leaving her with, 8 children, and the oldest one was 16. So I really, and of course, what Ray went through too, losing his wife and, so I do love those second chance stories. I do. And I definitely would like to write that and maybe take you back a little bit to like when they first connected, because I don't think I've really fully explored their story. I would also love to see something happen with Elmer.
Me too.
I mean, like, how much fun would that be?
A lot of fun.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I don't necessarily intend to give, like, say, for example, if I do something with Elmer, or if I have, more on Hannah and Ray, I don't necessarily expect that I will write a separate story for them. But I might do it the way I did like Dan and Kara and Seamus and Carolina and just incorporate it
In somebody else's.
inside the series. Yeah. So I definitely hear you all that you want more of Ray and Hannah. I have definitely heard that a lot. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for doing
Nice to
this.
see your face. Take care.
You too.
Okay, Kathleen is saying that her dad remarried after her mom passed away, and she would love to see that happen for Elmer. So I always wish that my dad would date, just because I worried about him so much, but he had no interest in dating after my mom passed away. So I was like, somebody please come and take care of him so I don't have to. That's not true. My brother used to tell him, date all you want, just don't get married, okay? Because the will is already set. So, but no, we were just like, he had no interest, so which is totally fine. So, all right, who's up next? Let's see. I just saw something come by. This chat. Okay, Katie Nielsen. Is Katie here?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And where are you located?
I'm originally from Wales in the UK, but I live in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, I love San Francisco. It's such a beautiful area.
I met you there when you were here last year.
I remember. As soon as you popped up, I said, I have met her.
Yes, you have.
Like, I always remember faces, but I'm so bad because it's like there's quite a few people come across in the course of a year. So what question do you have?
It was actually kind of a two-part question. So the first part was, do you have a favorite Abbott couple?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, what do you like about them? And whose story are you most excited to write next?
So I thank you for that. I will say that I think my favorite two couples in the Butler and Green Mountain series would be Hannah and Nolan and Ella and Gavin. I found the story of them losing Caleb to be really, really, really compelling to write. Mm-hmm. And the connection between those two couples being him, and just all the years after they lost him, how it was still reverberating through their lives, and writing that was really, really fun and really interesting to me. Mm-hmm. So I loved Ella and Gavin in particular. Like, Gavin was just so wounded, and
she was their story.
So determined to pull him out of it, and she did. Mm-hmm. So. But I love them all for different reasons. I don't want anybody to think that I have favorites, but I love them all for different reasons. I've also loved watching Lucas and Landon, who are always kind of like the class clowns, turn out to be rather significant men, and that's been really fun. So I like to, I think in both books, Lincoln points out that, they're both highly trained public safety officers, and, mm-hmm. You can't have that and be a fool too.
Right.
So,
they remind me of my husband, actually.
Do they? Yeah. So I think maybe their mom said it's how they blow off steam, because they see so much and they deal with so much at work. So, but thank you.
He's the youngest of 8, and out of all of the siblings, he is the goofiest one. He's the one who'll crack jokes at the most inappropriate times. But he's also the first one there if you meet somebody. So
right. So I think that's probably those two characteristics often go hand in hand. So
yeah, they're a lot of fun to read. I've really enjoyed their stories.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to writing Max's story too. I laid a few little kernels in All My Loving for him. I'm not sure how or when that story will play out, but one of my concerns with him is that he's still really young. So I've got kids that are 22, 25, and no way are they ready to be forever, but they also don't have a baby. So that I know.
I was married at 20. So
yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. I want to make sure that he's ready for it, so I think he's got his hands full right now. So I'm not sure how I'm going to, I have been thinking too, that I might bounce the timeline forward a little bit with mm-hmm. his book, and maybe do it a year or so later, when have had some things happen for everyone, mm-hmm. Which I thought that would be kind of fun. So
that would be fun. I can't wait for his story.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm thinking about how to best do that. So thank you so much. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So somebody in a passing question, I see that someone's asking about Kara Ballard Torrington's brothers causing trouble. And I would love to do something more with them because they were very funny when they came for the wedding and managed to get themselves arrested. So we may see them again. So we'll see. Next up was Gwen Neff. Is Gwen here? I have met Gwen before too. So yep, there she is.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great.
You're Las Vegas, right?
Yes, Las Vegas.
See? We had a
Yep,
very
and
good time that night in that awesome room that looked down over the fountains in
we
Las
sure
Vegas.
did.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yep. I think my question that I asked was, what was your favorite scene that you wrote in this book?
Oh gosh, there's like, I don't want to say too much about this one because I don't want to give it away for anybody who can't read it till the weekend or whatever, but I would say that there was some stuff with some moose that was fun. A couple of different rogue moose named Dexter and Fred. That was fun to write. I thought Elmer was particularly on fire in this book. I thought that, let's see what else. I really enjoyed writing more of Max. I enjoyed writing more of Charlie and Tyler. I enjoyed writing more of Hannah and Nolan. Poor Nolan, that's all I have to say. He's always second to the moose in Hannah's life, or all the animals. I enjoyed writing more Hunter and Megan. I enjoyed having a baby be born and a wedding happen, and there is a lot going on in this book. So I enjoyed the photo shoot for the catalog, and I enjoyed coming up with what I hope was a good way to show you what went on at the photo shoot without having to go through every person being there. So all those things I enjoyed. So
Awesome.
I hope
And
you enjoy it.
I'm excited for it. I just had one more thing. Are we going to see more of David and Daisy? Because they're one of my favorite couples.
Yes. So listen, I totally skipped over them on the timeline. And I realized it after the fact. And so I made up a heart attack for his father.
Right.
For that was why their wedding was postponed. So now in Rescue After Dark, it was just about Memorial Day, early
Right.
June. And so we got to wait till September. So I got to get the timeline. I think Blackout After Dark is going to take place August-ish. And so, you know, there. So it'll be after that.
Okay.
Probably after Blackout, whatever book comes next, it'll probably be in that one. But I haven't forgotten them. Don't worry. I haven't. I'll give them an extra special wedding. I actually am getting sick of writing weddings, to be honest with you. I've written 2 weddings recently, and I'm just like it's just like they're all the same. It's like it's so hard to make them different, you know? So I don't know. But I don't like writing weddings and childbirth. It's like there's really just not I don't know. Unless I make it a train wreck, which I normally do on Gansett. But everybody's like, why is every baby born on Gansett such a disaster? I'm like, because it makes it more fun, you know? So it's more exciting, more drama. But I don't know.
I mean, you do have the baby boom coming, according to.
We do have a massive baby boom. I might have a little surprise in store too in the baby boom department. So we'll see. And no, Linda's not going to get pregnant. Stop it. I hear you guys thinking those things. So Julie Dickinson is saying I could have them elope somewhere fun. Is that David and Daisy, I suppose? But yeah, so when you write 80 romance novels, there's a lot of weddings and there's a lot of babies, okay? A lot. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Gwen. Thank you for being here. I'm going to take one more question, and it's from Kelly Altria. Are you here?
Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Where are you located?
We're in Perth, Western Australia.
Oh, wow. So it's tomorrow morning where you are.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah, the kids
Is that
are at
your
school.
view? Is that the view from your house?
No, I don't know what's going on there.
Wow.
That's
oh,
me.
There you are. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, whoever is sitting on that hilltop, you got a pretty nice spot there.
Well, tell me about softball.
No, this is
Tia's going, whoops, I unmuted the wrong person. Wrong Kelly. There's multiple Kellys. So what is your question from Perth, Australia?
I can't remember what I wrote.
Okay, so I have it here.
Good.
When I first started writing Shelby, did I imagine her looking like Kristen Chenoweth? Is that your question?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that and other characters that just immediately I think of Reese Witherspoon when I read Treading Water. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
For which character though? For Claire?
For Claire.
Oh yeah. See, I
Yeah.
picture Meg Ryan for Claire.
Oh, so I don't get that.
No, I had Patrick Dempsey as Jack and Meg Ryan as Claire in my mind.
No, I don't get that. But I see like Reese Witherspoon is just.
I think I could totally see her now, but when I wrote it, Reese would have been too young. Yeah, so I wrote it in 2004, 2005, and so Reese would have been like 20 something,
Well,
So
she
now,
Right.
Yeah, she's aged into the part of Claire. I'll give you that.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. But Kristen Chenoweth, no, I did not picture her initially, but I do. I have since come to see her that way because I think as the character has unfolded and developed and we've gotten to know her better, she has taken on a Kristen Chenoweth-like vibe. So I can totally see why people picture her as Shelby for sure. And I do love writing Shelby in all her pink glory. And how Avery said if he marries her, he marries the color pink. So
that was my husband. Poor bugger.
Oh, really? You're a pink girl too?
Yep, definitely.
Well, thank you for joining us from Australia. Like, that's so awesome. You've made our chat international, which I'm sure we have others who are from other countries as well, but I so appreciate you being here. I did have a couple people in Australia who actually asked me to do math by telling them what time it would be in Australia when we were doing this, and I was like this.
I had to get the calculator out and figure it out, and I went, 12 hours, perfect.
Yeah, so 12 to 14, I guess it depends on which side of Australia. So on your side, it's 12, but like on the Melbourne side, it would probably be 14, right?
Yeah, 14 at this time of year. It'll be 15.
International kind of gal.
15 in my summer, your winter.
Yeah. Well, we were there in August of 2014, and it's so the heart of our summer and the starting of your winter.
No, that'd be the tail end of our winter.
Okay. Well, because it was very mild, so that's why I don't know. I definitely got that wrong. So it must have been coming off the worst of it. So.
Well, we don't have snow in the capital cities, so it's going to be mild for you anyway.
Okay. Well, next time, if I get to come to Australia, I do want to come to Perth because everyone tells me how amazing it is. So I have to go to Melbourne because my good friend lives there, Sarah Mayberry, who's also a tremendously awesome author. So if you haven't read her, make sure you do. She lives in Melbourne and she's slept over at my house here in Rhode Island. So I owe her a sleepover in Melbourne. So.
Yeah, well worth it. When the borders
are open, to come back. I would love to, but I have become a cranky old homebody in the last few years. So every time I go somewhere, I am like dying and ready to get home the minute I get there, so especially because now that I have my dad's doggie with me and his entire joy in life is me. I tell them nobody's ever been more devoted to me. And my husband's like, no, I can't argue with that. So my kids were thinking I was kind of making it up until they were back home and they're like, holy cow, he follows you everywhere. Yes, he does.
He sounds like my dog.
He's always right there. Right, Sammy?
Yeah.
Sammy. Oh, are you napping? Yeah, he's napping. He's bored. So.
That sounds like my dog. He sits on my foot while I'm doing the dishes.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here. And if anybody else wants to show where you guys are tonight, I'm going to go to the full Zoom so I can see you. And I want you guys to show me where you are. If you want to hold up let's see, what do we got here? Tallahassee. We've got Waterbury, Connecticut, Lake Wales, Florida, Lake Wales. Pompano Beach, Boynton Beach, yes. Michigan, let's see, Pennsylvania, all over the place. You guys, you've made this a very, very well populated. Let's see. Oh, Perth, Australia, Canton, Massachusetts. Well, thank you all so much for being here. We also, Tia has put up she's put up a poll about what you guys are planning to do for release day, whether or not you're reading it now, if you're reading it on the weekend, if you're reading it next week, if you're like whatever. So if you want to answer that question while you're still in the room, she says that we should be able to see it. Do you guys see it? No? Let's see. I don't see it either, Tia. You want to text me and tell me where they can find it? Let's see. Okay, it says All My Loving in progress. Have you read All My Loving? Some of you have answered it. Yes, I couldn't wait and already finished it. Damn you people reading it the first day. I'm reading it now. I have plans to read it this week and not yet. You can, let's see. She's saying many of you have already answered. So you saw the poll. So thank you guys. This was really fun. I'm so glad that I got to hear from some of you this time, and I really hope we can do this again. If Tia hasn't quit me after this for not turning my light on, then maybe we can talk her into doing this again for us sometime and allowing us to have this back and forth dialogue, because it's so much more fun than me just talking to myself and hopefully entertaining you. So thank you so much for everybody, not just the people who are in the Zoom room, but the people who are on Facebook and the people who are watching on my website. I just want to thank you all for the support of All My Loving. I'm so excited by how much you guys have embraced this series and these characters and me. So thank you for that. I want to say a huge thank you to Tia and Julie, who were the backbone of this operation tonight, and to our beautiful Lisa, who is our CFO and is always working behind the scenes to make things run smoother. So thank you to my amazing team. And I'm going to say good night and thank you and happy release week to Landon and Amanda. And on Monday of next week, there it is, we will do some giveaways of signed copies, and we will have one grand prize winner of the entire series. And I also want to make sure that you guys pop into my store at shop.marieforce.com, where you can get signed copies of all of my books are in there, every single one of them, as well as we have the new Anchor sweatshirts. We have Butler, Vermont, the beautiful green, forest green, forest green Butler, Vermont sweatshirts. Now we had run out of the sizes 2X, 3X, 4X. We kept getting requests for them, so we've replenished them for Butler and for Gansett. And then we also have the Anchor sweatshirts now in sizes medium to 4X. And we have some other new cool stuff coming soon. We have lots and lots of cool merchandise in the store. Katie is quickly asking, will we be getting another bite from the Quantum Gang? Yes, I owe you 2 more, and I'm going to finish that, I promise. I've just been so busy with the writing of the actual books, but I will finish that story for you. So that's it for tonight. Make sure you go to the store, shop.marieforce.com, buy all the cool stuff, and tell us what else you'd like to see, and we'll be getting some new t-shirt hoodies in, like similar to the ones we used to have, the blue ones, but a slightly different version of them. So keep an eye out for that. And also, oh, one other thing, if you want to be part of the crew of my boat, I had some t-shirts made for my family and friends for Christmas, and we had extras. So I put them in the store and they sold in like 2 hours. So we bought more. So if you want to be on the Sea Wings crew, it's a beautiful cranberry burgundy color shirt with the Sea Wings logo, and on the back it says crew. I would love to have you on my crew. There is only one captain's shirt and it belongs to me. And my boat's going in the water tomorrow. So I will be posting some pictures of the new and improved boat, and you can be on the crew. So go and order your Sea Wings crew t-shirt, and I would love to have you on my crew. And the new t-shirts will be in, and we'll be shipping them probably around the first week in July. So that's all I got for you tonight. If you have questions about the merchandise or anything else that came up tonight, email me at marie@marieforce.com or Julie at julie@marieforce.com. So thank you and good night. Now I got to just figure out how to get out of the Zoom room. Oh wait, there's a big red button that says end. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much.